All right, so you've got a killer business idea. You're ready to go. But you've probably asked yourself the one question that really, truly matters. I mean, that's the big one, isn't it? You could have the most amazing product on earth, but if you step into the wrong arena, you might be set up to fail before you even start. So how do you actually see the rules of the game before you play? Well, think of any industry you want to enter as a kind of battlefield. There are these invisible forces, all these hidden pressures, pushing and pulling, trying to shrink your profits. What you really need is like a business X-ray machine, a tool that lets you see all those threats before they hit you. And believe it or not, that tool exists. And here it is. It's called Porter's 5 Forces. This toolkit was developed by a Harvard professor, Michael Porter, way back in 1979, and it is still one of the most powerful strategy tools out there. Seriously, entrepreneurs, huge companies, even investors, they all use this to map out the competitive arena. Okay, so force number 1, the threat of new entrants. The best way to think about this is to imagine you're throwing an awesome party and a bunch of rookies are trying to crash it. How hard is it for them to get past the door? If it's really hard, maybe because you need a secret formula or billions of dollars, then this threat is low, and that's fantastic for you. Next up, you've got to think about the power of your suppliers. The people who provide your ingredients or components. If you're totally dependent on just one or two of them for something crucial, well, they can basically twist your arm and jack up their prices. But if you can get what you need from lots of different places, suddenly their power shrinks. And on the flip side, what about your buyers, your customers? If they have a ton of other choices and can switch to a competitor in a heartbeat, they're the ones with the power. They can demand lower prices and better deals, but if your brand is so strong that they feel like they have to buy from you, well, then you're in the driver's seat. Now, this one is subtle, but it is so important. The threat of substitutes. A substitute isn't your direct rival. It's a completely different way to solve the same problem. Think about it. Someone choosing to just drink tap water instead of buying your fancy soda. If there are tons of cheap, easy substitutes for what you sell, that is a huge, constant threat. And finally, we get to the one everyone thinks about first, rivalry. How fierce is the fight between you and your direct competitors? Is it a brutal, cutthroat price war every single day? Or is the market kind of relaxed and big enough for everybody? So here's the bottom line. When these 5 forces are strong, the industry is tough, and profits get squeezed. When the forces are weak, that's where you find the opportunity. Okay, that's a lot of theory, I know. Let's make this way more concrete. We're going to apply this exact framework to one of the biggest, most powerful brands on the entire planet. Coca-Cola. Let's put their industry under the X-ray. So if we break it down for Coke, you can see exactly how this works. First, the threat of new entrants is super low. Why? You'd need billions of dollars, a secret recipe, and a global distribution network to even try to compete. Good luck with that. The power of suppliers? Also low. Coke buys common stuff like sugar and bottles from tons of different places, so they can switch suppliers easily. The power of buyers is kind of in the middle. Big supermarkets have some leverage, but individual brand loyalty to Coke is insanely high. Now, the threat of substitutes, that's a medium threat, and it's growing. More and more people are choosing water, juice, or other healthy options. And finally, rivalry, it's sky high. That constant, intense battle with Pepsi means they both have to spend a fortune on advertising. See? In just a moment, we get this incredibly clear picture of Coke's entire strategic world. I mean, you can see how powerful this is, right? It really is like a Swiss Army knife for any strategist. But just like any tool, you've got to know when it's the right one for the job, and just as importantly, when to put it away. The amazing thing is how versatile this framework is. You can apply it to pretty much any industry. In tech, you can analyze Uber versus the entire taxi industry. In fashion, you could look at a brand like Zara and how it deals with cheap online copies. You can even scale it down to your local campus food stall, trying to compete with delivery apps, or use it for a nonprofit that's competing for the same donations as other charities. It works everywhere. But, and this is a big but, it's not a magic crystal ball. In these crazy fast-moving industries like social media, where a new player like TikTok can just pop up and change everything overnight, the forces are shifting way too fast for a static model like this. It's also not as helpful in creative fields, right? Where success is more about raw talent and a bit of luck than industry structure. So the key is to use this as your starting point, a powerful one, but not as the final unchangeable truth. Okay, let's wrap this all up. It's time to arm you for that business battlefield. Disburn these 5 forces into your brain. The threat of new people coming in, the power your suppliers have over you, the power your buyers have over you, the threat of different substitute products, and finally, the rivalry with your direct competitors. They all work together, pushing and pulling to define just how profitable an industry can be. Once you get a feel for whether these forces are strong or weak, you stop just having an idea and you start thinking like a real strategist. And that's it. You are now officially armed with a strategic tool you can use for the rest of your life. You can look at any business, from a tiny local shop to a global giant, and see the invisible currents that shape its success. So I guess there's only one question left to ask. What industry are you going to analyze first?